Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AwesomeCast. We are back this week with a lot of stories, a lot of stuff going on. We are Robless once again. He is, don't awe, because he's living it up down in New Orleans on a work vacation, I think he said. So I hope he comes back with lots of beats. But in the meantime, as usual, behind the board is Chachi of ChachiSays.net and other Chachi Says Enterprises. How you doing tonight, Chach?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm good. It
is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
I am wired.
You are wired.
I'm missing the Pens game, which is a little bit upsetting.
I was sorry.
I'm used to it by now.
You're used to it by now. Give us some updates in the chat room if you're joining us live here. You want
to give up the contact information that's on the screen now?
We can do that. You can contact us here at contact@awesomecast.com, or you can drop us a line at 72425-ACAST or 724-252-2278. I think that's an 8.
Yes.
It's really small. I feel like everything's smaller on this previous screen. We'll work on that. We like all your feedback and everything, and let us know how we're doing. Any stories that we should be talking about, we'll take a look at them and see if we can fit it in the show. So,
right.
Yeah, what are you mocking?
I wasn't. I was dancing.
On the line tonight, joining us, this is the first girl we've invited that said yes.
I know.
What are we?
And yes, with enthusiasm, I think you need to say.
Yes, definitely. Cynthia Klosky, BigBigDesign.com, MyBrainMistakes.com, and co-founder of the Pittsburgh Bloggers and Blogfest. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic, and ever so much better now that I'm here with you.
Excellent. Thank you. Joining us from, you're up in Butler.
Up in Butler, yes. We've had some snow today, but we're struggling through up here in the Wilderlands.
Yeah, you're prepared. She's got the whole headset thing going on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that is part of being up here, is the preparedness. They make you take a test.
In case I'm stuck in the blizzard, I can still Skype.
That's right.
That sounds like Butler to me. Yeah, definitely.
There you go. We're prepared. Cows, headsets.
Cows with headsets. We didn't have the headsets back home, me and Chachi. No. Well, let's get right into it. In the it's always hard reporting on this because the Japanese earthquake, tsunami, nuclear crisis, energy shortage. I'm glad this was all lined up for me. All the craziness going on out there. It is kind of hard to talk about. Hey, how's that going to help our little luxury devices over here? But I think we're going to start seeing the first of it here. As Cindy, I know you put this in the notes, but I know I've been hearing about it a bit this week. iPhone 5, of course, we heard not going to be a WWDC, potentially not until fall at this point. And looks like the first big thing we're going to see affected by all this going on. What have you been reading up about it?
Well, it seems like there's a lot. You kind of forget how much of what we're using on a daily basis actually comes from all sorts of places, not just you think maybe Tokyo or other places, but it's actually small towns all over Asia, in particular for the handheld devices, but all of our stuff is all over. So anyway, what we're seeing is that it's like the glue, apparently, that is used in iPods, and I'm extrapolating from that to iPads and iPhones. Mm-hmm. That actually comes from smaller cities outside in the northern part of Japan, and they've got an energy crisis at this point. At this point, I mean, and you're right to talk about it. They're just struggling to stay alive, so it's kind of hard for us to kind of complain about it. But in the long term, it's not like they can just get past this and all of a sudden be able to produce these supplies all along the way. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to see, it's not just like the iPhone, it's going to be supplies for cars. It's going to be all sorts of camera devices, all kinds of stuff that we don't even realize goes into what we use every day.
Right. This is going to be a long-term thing.
Yeah.
And the iPhone is just the beginning or the tip of the iceberg.
So
Well, just because we're watching for it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because all these things are already being interrupted, and suppliers have begun, to realize, we only have one plant where we make this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been such a heart of manufacturing over there, and it kind of, we've already been kind of looking at an eye on manufacturing and what that effect, what effect that has. Like, I mean, we've had in China where they put these phones together, there was the suicide and human rights issues. Right. I saw an article today, and I thought I put in the delicious, I apologize, but there's a ban coming up, supposedly, or there's going to be some kind of tax. No, I think the companies have to reveal that they get certain minerals from the Congo, where these manufacturing or refining plants or whatever it is that get these minerals that may go into our electronics are actually supporting the regimes and the, basically blood money over there.
Right.
Basically, So I think Apple and maybe Sony, maybe Nokia, I can't, I just read this earlier today, are going ahead and trying to pull out of those operations. Because when they do require that, they don't want the bad PR coming out. And especially Apple with, the stuff that's going on in China that's already been in the news, at least our tech news. But they don't want something like that get their hooks into Good Morning America or something where the populace is gonna be like, oh, I don't want to buy an iPhone. It's sweatshop in China land, But hey, shirts for Walmart haven't really suffered that much, have they? So
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, you went there.
I went there.
Oh.
It's natural, But
well, here's the other thing though, that they're actually in the long run, there's a positive side to this, and that is that for, I'm going to say the last, I'm going to say 20 years, all of the manufacturing organizations in the U.S., but also elsewhere, have been adopting this, what's called just-in-time manufacturing. Is that something you've heard about?
No, I haven't.
What it is it used to be, and Detroit actually suffered a lot because they relied on the opposite of just-in-time, is that manufacturers and suppliers and, distributors and everybody along the way, everybody would store up an inventory, just in case. So whenever there was a problem, along the way, everybody else could kind of fill in. And so you didn't really notice disruptions in supply. But there was a really big problem. There's a really big problem built into just in time, which is that if there's let me just pull something completely out of the air here. Let's say you have a hotly anticipated handheld device, and when you release it, it turns out the antenna doesn't work. Can you imagine?
Yeah. I couldn't. Man, that's really reaching.
I know. I'm just making this up, so forgive me. But so if everybody has stored inventory along the way, the manufacturer has stored it, and then the person who builds the sub-assembly has stored some inventory. You have to work through all that inventory before you can fix whatever problem it is that is happening with the antenna. Mm-hmm. So if the problem is software, you can fix that probably quickly. If the problem is a manufacturing problem, you can fix it, but slower. Or you have to, somebody has to ditch all that inventory. Somebody has to eat all that cost. Mm. Or what if the problem is a design problem? Then you end up with the CEO telling everybody hold the phone a different way. I don't know. If you can imagine.
This keeps getting weirder.
I know. This is from space, science fiction.
What kind of company would do this? The
point is that the less that everyone holds inventory, the better. So just in time says nobody should ever hold inventory. Everything needs to be built just in time. Mm-hmm. So that is because everybody has adopted this in the last 20 years, because Toyota did it first. Everybody followed Toyota. You remember, you guys are too young, but cars used to suck. And then cars got better because everybody stopped having inventory of crappy parts. It's kind of, yeah. I'm summarizing. So the just in time means that we all have better products faster. But what we're all kind of having to absorb now is just in time also means that if the plant that makes, this one part or this one element that isn't even a part but is glue, is going to be offline for a year, then we are all going to be sad. Mm-hmm. Not just the people who live around there. And so what's going to happen is now that manufacturers are going to start to plan to have more distributed supply sources. So like one company won't have just one plant, one place. It's their supply, companies like Apple will demand that, their suppliers have multiple sources for this part, for that part, so that the disruptions don't happen. So in the long term, starting in the years as they can do things pretty fast now. So in the long term, we won't have this kind of disruption. We will still have earthquakes and tsunamis and nuclear crises, but we'll have iPhones.
It'll be,
so
okay, there you go. It'll be decentralized. Yeah, definitely. And I know, I've heard, Apple definitely has to adopt something like this, because I heard they bought all the LCDs in the land. Why we have Android tablets are having such a hard time putting a foot in the door at a low cost, because Apple did buy so many LCDs, and I think some other battery technology parts. Like they have a stockpile or futures or whatever. But then again, what do the futures do for you if they're not going to be able to be manufactured?
Yeah, if the plant is gone, or the plant was not going to have power for 8 months,
I just learned what futures were recently, actually, thanks to all this.
Good.
But for those that they're like me that didn't know, it's you buy. I'm going to buy your LCD supply for. You can tell me if I'm wrong with this, Cindy, but like the next 6 months, next year, I've bought that at a locked-in rate. And I will be receiving those before anybody else can step in and purchase those, say, LCDs.
Well, that's true. That is exactly right. And it works with like apples and grain really, really easily, or oil.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of people buying oil futures.
Yes.
But oil is oil no matter where you get it from. If there's only one guy that makes the LCD you need, you can buy all the futures you want, but you could be SOL.
It gets knocked out, you're out of the game, no matter what money you put in on it.
Right.
So. Definitely. Well, along with this, kind of a side, I've heard people saying that this CEO, Howard Stringer of Sony, may be replacing Google's Eric Schmidt as the guy that says crazy things out there. He let slip that they're worried about their plant where they do their lenses for cameras. Is one of the reasons why the iPhone 5 is going to be delayed. Now, the funny thing is that up until this point, including the iPhone 4, OmniVision has provided those lenses. So somebody let slip something here.
Well, these companies are really good at dropping, I don't know, just dropping random hints of information when they're not supposed to. It's just one of those things that they always seem to be doing, and no one seems to care.
Well, no, trust me, the rumor mill guys are going nuts over something like this.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I realize he's CEO,
mm-hmm.
but he has a board that he has to answer to.
Okay.
And no one on that board seems to care that he just opened his mouth and started talking.
You know what this reminds me of also is, remember the president, CEO, I don't remember right off the bat, of Verizon, started saying these crazy things about the iPhone coming to their service like 6 months, a year in advance, and while they have a board to answer to saying stuff like this, if it's true and they know internally it's true, it just makes them look good being attached to Apple right now the way they've been doing.
Do you think so? Your thing, Sorg, is that this is all a plan, that they're actually positioning themselves. And this is all part of some big buildup. Yeah,
and I'm sure Apple's not happy about stuff like this happening. But you
don't think Apple's in on it? You don't think that's an act too?
I don't know. The way it's uncharacteristic. Guys like Sony and Verizon, these big companies, they always feel kind of like, one hand doesn't know what the other one's doing. But Apple rarely does that until you leave a phone in a bar, Mm-hmm. It just doesn't happen with these guys. A little gets out. I know more seems to be getting out with Apple. I don't know what that is about them, but it just doesn't. Everything Apple can control gets locked down.
Maybe their brain control mechanisms are starting to fail too.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it is this Steve Jobs taking his sick leave and whatever new management they're trying to
That is it.
You think that is it?
No, I am joking, but I'm not at all, because it is the reality control field has left the building.
Yes. Wow. But yeah, because it's the Jobsism of that company, and it's and yes, he's just kind of went on leave, But they have to be working on the replacement. Was it Johnny Ives, I think, was leaving? There's another big designer that left recently.
Well, Bertrand, who was one of the head people at Next when I was there, I mean, he's a brilliant guy, Bertrand Surlett, one of the main people that created the operating system that became Mac OS X. He left. So, I mean, these are really genius guys. Now, no one's irreplaceable, right? So, I've got other bright people who have, who joined Apple to be brilliant and to be around other people, and it's teams, so this culture of the hero, I've never really bought into it. When you're in those kind of companies, there's just a lot of brilliance going around, but centrality of vision is really important. Who is making the choices between 5 brilliant ideas?
Yeah. That commonality, and it's I don't know. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. I mean, if I think about how Apple kind of dipped when Jobs left, came back. You kind of saw. Yes, you saw the eras; they were pretty clear, and I wonder what this is gonna hold for them, and if their dominance maybe there may be a problem with this. Now, related to that, let me skip over here. Google, on the other hand, who I've been complaining about on Twitter for their lack of cohesiveness lately. Personally, I have a YouTube and an AdSense and an analytics and some other accounts that really don't want to talk to each other. Oh, FeedBurner was the other one. Don't really want to talk to each other right now. So that's my problem. But they look to be trying to tighten down the control of Android, insisting licensees abide by non-fragmentation controls. Now, this has been a problem for a while of, certain phones launching with like 3 versions behind of Android, not being able to be updated and such. So, maybe it's time for Android to say, look, we kind of have a brand and maybe we need to start taking a little more control over it.
No.
It
is not. It is not time for that.
What is the cartoon that you've got that the different kinds of people and what kinds of devices they have? Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No, I'm not aware of this.
There's one that's, are you the kind of guy that has a BlackBerry, that has an iPhone, or that has an Android? And there's a certain amount of chaos and geekiness and so on in the Android people. The iPhone people really, want to I don't know, we're maybe all mind melded, but we want a coherent experience. And then the BlackBerry people are a little bit behind. And there's a nice little characterization of each one that is a terrible, terrible assumption on the part. But you know what? Here's the funny thing about the cartoon is I think that no matter which device you have, you're going to agree with the person that is you and laugh at the other people. That's how good a cartoon is.
That's fanboyism, for the most part.
Yes.
Like, it's your world, and
it's going to happen no matter what. My thing is, you're right. Android phones have always come out a few versions behind what OS is currently the newest.
Yeah.
But the thing with Android, and the thing that Google is stopping now, is that it didn't take much effort to take the OS that was on it and input someone else's based on the Linux for the phone.
Yes,
Which means someone out there took the time to program their version of the Android OS or recreate a version of the Android OS that's already out and tweak it a little bit to allow you to do the things that everybody wants to do. At a different, it's a different experience altogether.
It's a flexible thing. I mean, it's really an awesome thing.
Exactly. And now Google is like, how do I want to put this? So you're a child, and someone gives you an awesome toy, and they let you play with that awesome toy for a really long time, and suddenly that giver comes back and they take it away from you and say, "No, you can't play with this anymore. That's mine."
It's Evil Santa.
It is Evil Santa. Google is taking this operating system that they bragged about for so long as being open and user-friendly, and they're saying, yeah, about that. Yeah, we don't want you doing that anymore, because that's ours.
isn't that what Twitter has basically done as well?
Right. That's exactly what Twitter did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Twitter had so many companies out there creating their own versions of apps so that people could get the user experience that they wanted.
And so that the marketplace could be built.
Right. And then they're just like, no, that's ours. You can't play with that. Or if you do play with that, it has to be with our rules. But go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
But Android or Google isn't even giving you that option anymore. From what I'm understanding is that Google, and I'm not saying this to be mean, all right?
Are you about to insult me?
I am.
And my platform?
I am.
Is that what's happening? Okay.
Google is turning into Apple as far as their phone OS goes.
They're
Okay.
never going to go that far.
No, they got a long way to go. Long way to go.
Well, it's getting to the point where you're going to have to jailbreak your Android.
Okay.
Well, it's not getting to the point. I mean, there's like a spectrum, right? And so Google was here, and Apple is here, and now Google's here. So I wouldn't say look at all this other space. They have a ways to go. I mean, Apple, think how tight. You can't even launch an app on Apple without, sending them chewing gum and candies. I don't really know how you do it.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah, it's yeah. Well, at least we're not all on BlackBerry.
That's right. I think we're unified in our disdain for
At least we're not. At least it's not BlackBerry. At least we got over that. I mean, even BlackBerry is running Android at this point. So,
that's right.
Well, I'm not saying that Apple is a bad thing, because if this show has taught me anything, it's to respect or at least give Apple a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sitting behind a Mac.
I think this is a special moment for us all.
No, this happens once a week.
Every week he's like, no, I'm completely behind Apple, even though I won't buy one.
No, I'm not completely behind Apple. I'm just saying that I'm more understanding than I once was.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was all, screw you, Apple, I'll use my PC. And now I'm like, all right, well, let's see what they're doing this week. We can go on now.
Okay, that's fine.
Step down off my
little
soapbox.
lighter topic to keep Chachi with us. So, what did you enjoy on April Fool's Day this year?
Can I share with you that April Fool's Day is my least favorite holiday?
Mine too.
It's just like, I didn't get a chance to get to a computer most of Friday, but the worst part is that April Fool's, as I catch up with my news items and my podcasts, just sprinkles through the next 3 or 4 days for me. Probably until the end of this week, I'll see someone be like, "Oh, that's cool, crap," kind of thing. For instance, I loaded up Tech News today on Saturday morning and discovered that they did all the news from 2006. I found Hulu. The 1996 button on Hulu was pretty fantastic.
Oh,
I did have to say I did enjoy that. It was nostalgic.
They have a button there?
Well, no, a few days after. I don't think it's there right now. But you saw, like, what was it, television movies, 1996, and then there Hulu Plus. So I clicked on that, and I'm like, oh, this was completely the front page for April Fool's Day, wasn't it?
I took the day off.
April Fool's.
Yeah, like, I don't remember why.
You're like, I'm not dealing with any of this crap.
Well, I don't like the day.
Yeah.
To begin with. And I guess past me had decided that we weren't going to put up with it this year. And requested a day off.
Past me had a discussion.
Yeah.
And
well, like, that Monday, my boss comes to me and says, "You requested Friday off. Do you still need it off?" Well, I hardly take days off, so I said, yeah, I'm taking it off. And, yeah, I don't remember why I'd originally requested it off, but I took it off. So I woke up at 10 o'clock, and I checked Twitter and saw the Hulu link, and just thought it was hilarious.
It was fun. Radio, news radio, one of my favorite shows from that time period. Nice to see it again.
Oh, yes. Dave Matthews Band, X-Files.
Oh, that's right.
I was disappointed that I did click on the X-Files while I was playing around with Hulu the other day. I mean, it's a Hulu Plus preview, so, okay. That's one way to get me interested in that. But thankfully...
Truth is out there.
Yes, exactly. But, oh, God. This, Rebecca Black thing going through this. Google. Oh, I always enjoy the Google ones. They had Google Motion.
Google Motion.
Go check.
So talk about that. But somebody actually made Google Motion.
That's That's funny. If you see the video, there's this guy. They get to it. There's a guy green screened over Gmail, and there's like one of the motions is in order to send an email, lick a stamp, and you see the guy lick it, raise his knee, and stick it to his leg. I mean, completely deadpan.
He's
it's
like a hilariously robot guy.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You know, what's his name on Big Bang Theory?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on this fella.
Oh yeah. It's tremendous. I didn't even get through the whole thing. It's hilarious. Just look up Google Motion. I'm sure you'll find it.
What I liked about it, I actually did like it. Reply is like gesture over one shoulder.
Yes.
And reply all is gesture over both shoulders. I mean, that's sweet.
But like you were saying, they took a Connect and actually made some of this this happen.
Yeah. And it really was in like a very short period. I'm going to say it was some nice even number of hours, like 36 hours or something. They had it up and running.
I know. I heard about it probably Sunday at the earliest. So yeah, to get that out and populated that, I would hear about it. That's pretty fantastic.
That's a good vote of confidence for those guys. Somebody's got to hire them.
I mean, and I wonder. Oh, then they were thinking back on some of the old ones. I didn't know about this. The Google Translate for Animals video from a few years back. I'm trying to remember what else they had. There was like there were ones they used to do that. You know how we always say, they always say about like Google like creeps on the creepy side of your privacy, but not all the way. But some of them would on the April Fool's jokes. Like those are always the best.
That is true. There was a thing in school where people were like putting together a and actually I'm pretty sure this exists now too. The sort of a website where you can track by GPS where your kids are by their cell phones or something. Mm-hmm. And the tagline for the company, and they didn't end up using this, of course, was it's not stalking if they love you back.
Wow.
So there's that. Someone ought to use that.
And this is fun, and this actually leads into another story. HuffPo erected a paywall that applies only to the New York Times employees.
Yes.
So anyone that's going there to steal their articles has to pay to see them.
Yeah, there you go. At least they get something out of it, right?
That could turn into a really big revenue stream.
That could be. Along with that, I have a feeling this is going to be a hot button issue. Paywalls for newspapers and video sites are not inherently evil, but the New York Times new paywall is insulting and will fail. What? That's a pretty strong statement there, Cindy.
Who would say such a thing?
I don't know.
Okay, so look. So I read the New York Times. I do. Mm-hmm. I do. They cast a wide net. I find out a lot of good stuff there. And so with this new paywall, a loyal reader like me who, frankly doesn't subscribe to it. At one point I did pay every year for way back when they had subscriptions. I did pay to see it online, and I don't want the print copy because by the time it gets to Butler, remember with the cows and the headsets, all I can use it for is cat litter. So anyway, so the online version is what I want, and I might be willing to pay for it, but I'm not going to pay for it if somebody else can get around the paywall just by copying a link to an article, putting it in a tweet to them, and then clicking on their own tweet, which is exactly how this paywall works. It's just insane. And then the New York Times itself has all its own RSS feeds, which it puts on its Twitter account. So all I need to do is not go through their homepage and instead go through Twitter and click on all those links and read all those articles and avoid the paywall.
It really is a catch-22, because I understand what they're trying to do is like we want to be closed down to make sure people are paying for this, but we also want to be able to apply for blogging, social media, etc., because we know there's value in that. But unfortunately, there's ingenious people that are going to work around that even more. So here's the thing is that it's the people who want to read the New York Times every day that they're trying to charge. And it's the people so the idea is they want to catch the doesn't make sense. I mean, the people who only want to read it every now and again and aren't willing to pay at all, that they just say, look, come and read our article and then pay us big bottles. I don't know. I'm really not explaining it well because I'm so angry. And what do you can you get the digital without the paper? Isn't there a catch on that too?
They do, but it costs. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you what. I didn't understand the pricing at all. It's kind of like it costs more to not receive the newspaper, to not have them ship me here in Western Pennsylvania. It would cost me more to just read the newspaper online than it would to get it on my doorstep and read it online.
Yeah, what kind of a premium is that? I mean, that's.
Let me just point out that I think it's funny that she said she doesn't understand the pay system.
the MIT graduate amongst us,
right?
I think we both went to technical school,
right?
Did it make more sense to you? Maybe
No,
I haven't even tried.
If she doesn't understand the pay system, then how the heck am I supposed to?
That's true. I don't know. Are you the audience for the New York Times, though? Isn't it a little...
No, I
mean, help me out. The New York Times is a little more highbrow, correct?
I don't read the newspaper.
It tends to be a left-leaning paper, and it tends... I mean, if you look at their ads, it's all like Tiffany and blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
There you go.
I myself can't afford anything that they are selling.
That's like, Chachi's not even going to open the Wall Street Journal at this point. Just forget about it. And I know.
Well, but here's the thing, is that the Wall Street Journal has a paywall that makes sense.
I'm not either.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Wall Street Journal put up a paywall, I forget what, 2 years ago? And it's consistent across things. Every now and again, there's an article that they share, or they share parts of articles to Google, but and elsewhere. But somehow they were able to enact a paywall that is, not insulting to the people that would read the newspaper. So, I don't know. I don't know why the New York Times couldn't. When I have to build something, I look to see if someone else has got a working version first, and I use that as a starting point.
I'm actually trying to. I was worried. I didn't know the New York Times website for a moment. That's just how much I look. Let's see.
If you Google it, it's free.
If I Google it, it's free. Oh no, I'm trying to figure out how much what the pay system is. Let's see if I can figure it out. No, I don't feel like signing up. Okay.
No. But one of those articles, I think I might have sent you a link. You can see their list. But you know what? I think it would take the next, hour, so we don't go over our time.
Okay, so on a very special episode of the AwesomeCast, how are you going to pay for the New York Times? Let's see. Oh, wait, wow. Okay, home delivery options. Let's see. $193 Monday to Friday delivery. 20 article limit. I like the chuckle by the headline. Wait. Memorize these digital costs. So, for the year, and this is interesting. You pay differently for access for web for all across the board for all of these, right? But you pay different to have the access on your smartphone, and more for your tablet, and more to have it on your smartphone and your tablet.
Right, because that costs them more.
It's like the Hulu of newspapers.
You paid $270 to get it for 2 less days.
Yes. Which maybe they're actually trying to, it's like a passive aggressive comment on, their reporters, letting them know.
This is, wow. How much is newspapers worth? I don't know. It's not. Yeah, you're right. This is pretty ridiculous.
It's insane.
And it was say for a year, I just want to get New York Times on mobile on the web in my phone. $195. We're looking at $193 for Monday through Friday delivery. $270 for Friday through Sunday delivery. That's what you were talking about, Chachi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, arguably, their Sunday newspaper is the most popular one. It's the one that it is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger piece of newspaper. But when does news happen? News is not going to happen. If you want news, that's the cheaper one. So if you just want it for news,
so it's just news, not news. If I just wanted news, I just go with the daily.
Right.
Yeah.
At this point, maybe you go with HuffPo.
Now, can I pick either or? Wasn't there a catch that I had to get at least the paper to get digital or something?
I don't know.
You can get just digital.
You can't. Okay.
But
still, it's more.
They have that farther down.
Well, I guess that's the cost for not killing trees.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Gotta burn those fossil fuels to keep our computers
maybe they
running.
know something we don't.
And
Maybe there's something that they secretly, it's some kind of conspiracy between the paper manufacturers. They're getting a kickback or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
What it is that they haven't figured out how to charge a company as much for an online ad as for a paper ad. That is what it is. And because they can't sell the ads, the online ads for this, which doesn't make any sense to me at all, because there's no way they can tell me how many people have seen a paper advertisement, and I can tell you without a doubt how many people have seen an online advertisement.
This kind of goes
and I can tell you even better how many people have clicked on it.
This kind of goes into my conspiracy, and I've done this. I'm actually looking at some digital distribution for a magazine. I'm helping with a print magazine, and the package they offer for a fraction of the cost that includes stats packages that you can tell how many eyeballs and down to demographics sometimes. Who's looking at our magazine? And I'm pitching them like, look, we can see more who's looking at our stuff versus it's sitting in a doctor's office, because that's where we're sending this to, and hopefully somebody picks it up and sees their ad for some service.
And hopefully they're the kind of person who ought to see the ad, and hopefully that person is in a position to buy whatever the ad is.
Exactly. Now, I think and I think this goes with TV as well. Why isn't TV monetizing better on Hulu? Is another discussion that's going on. I go down to I canceled my cable or I don't turn on the show or whatever's going on. Me not watching that show has absolutely no impact on that show's rating, how much money they make. It's the select group of Nielsen ratings. A newspaper gets to send out, we distribute 10,000 copies of this magazine. Half of them could be in the garbage for all you know, but you're paying for that number 10,000 versus, we know exactly how many people are not clicking on those ads, not looking at those ads when we go to our website. Now, I think there's just this kind of smoke and mirrors of advertising going on, and nobody wants the cat to be out of the bag that nobody's really looking at this crap, and the advertising bubble that's been swelling over 80 years at this point just bursts because they realize it doesn't work and we have to do new methods.
That's right. I mean, a working ad, you can tell if an ad works. And it's that, it kind of actually gets back to that, just in time. Like, I can see if this ad campaign, this concept I had was an effective one, and I can change it right away if it's online. If it's printed, it's printed, and I'm stuck with it for however long that magazine sits in that doctor's office,
Yeah, and even going back to the ratings, it's not even just like what they watch week in and week out. Sweeps weeks. Again, reading the War for Late Night, that they explain the concept of sweeps weeks and how what they pay for the next year, 6 months, something like that. When the books come out with the ratings and everything.
Traditionally, it was a year, but I think they may have more than one. They have like they have sweeps week, and they've got the ability to option things later. So it is at least a little more timely than it used to be. But yeah, it's really archaic. It's just insane how slow everything is out there in the real world where we are not, because we are.
It's just this idea about like throwing all your eggs in a basket for a week or 2 weeks. I think February and November were the months that they talked about.
And think about the shows that took a long time to evolve. I mean, now MASH was from a TV show. I mean, was from a movie, but it took a little while to find its right audience.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think even like Cheers, and I don't even know some of the ones that are like classic television. Post when everybody watched television at the same time. Like I Love Lucy, you can't count that because there was like one show. That's everyone who had a TV sat down and watched.
Yes, I have a blog post going up tomorrow on my blog at sorgatron.com. Plug. That whole nobody watches appointment television for the most part. Right. Unless it's Monday Night Raw, I watch. Dancing with the Stars seems to be big on Twitter.
Well, no, and why is that though? There's a reason, and also, like football games and things like that are things. I mean, what's the difference between something like Monday Night Raw and a pre-recorded version of I don't know. There are sitcoms now, right? Who does any of us watch television now? You can't even come up with an example.
I watch all mine on Hulu, actually.
Go ahead. You have a point. No one watches TV on demand, like on queue anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it's an event where if they learn the outcome, it will ruin the experience.
I think,
such as Raw, such as Monday Night Football, such as reality shows, such Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
The reality TV shows or the sporting events are going to be the only things that people watch when they like the minute they start.
Clearly, Monday Night Raw was the only reason I had cable for the longest time, and finally I was just like, I'm not paying this much money just to watch wrestling on Monday nights.
Right.
You know, I'll find another way. But
there are also the things that are pre-recorded, like say, I don't know, the finale of a season, or when what was the show with the fog, you know, the smoke monster.
Lost. Yeah.
Well, no, see, that just makes the show good.
Yeah.
If you're able to get people to sit down at the allotted time slot each week to watch your show, you're doing something right.
That's something where you're going to work the next day. Like, I remember, I watch Office on delay on Hulu usually because I'm doing something Thursday nights usually. And I come in the next day. It's like, don't give up Office. I'll watch it on lunch. Don't give up Office. They're making all these jokes I don't understand. Like, that's the kind of thing, at least in my office environment, where it works.
But in the same line, even if they spoil it for you, it's not going to ruin the episode. Because they may tell you apart. No, right. They may tell you apart, but that's still one small segment of a 30-minute show.
Yeah.
That isn't going to be completely ruined.
I can get away with it. And then I go back to, sorry to bring it around to this, but professional wrestling kind of sets that event versus non-event pre-taped status for me. You have Monday Night Raw. I have to watch every Monday night. Like, just, that's what I've done. It's like watching a football game to me. Same with pay-per-views. I hate part of the mystique is gone if I'm watching that the next morning recorded, but then, they have, even WWE itself has 1, 2, 3 other programs I could watch anytime and I couldn't care less. I'm not sticking around on Friday nights to watch SmackDown.
Right, because you're already getting that on a delay.
Yeah, it's already on the delay. If I really wanted to, I could see what happened Tuesday night. It doesn't, even if there's not that, it just doesn't feel as special. It's
the live events. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
If you want people to sit down and watch your show in appointment television, you have to make it a good enough show. If not, they're going to DVR it, fast forward through the commercials, and that's all there is to it.
There's the competition for our attention too. We are competition for television on this. Probably not as great a competition, but still, like when I sit down, to work, you usually throw the TV on. I'm throwing on my iPad and I'm throwing on, not so much Daily Show or anything anymore. I'm going through my MediaFly account and looking at all the 404s and the This Week in Techs and the I Want Wrestling podcast and just going through that playlist about exactly what I want to watch instead of putting on some soap opera because that's what's on. I mean, it's just it's a different world as far as that these days.
Right. So we're done with appointment TV?
Done. Appointment TV's done.
Right.
Except for Tuesday nights at 7 at live.sorgatronmedia.com if you want to join us in the chat. And this is something different. This makes appointment TV for all these people joining up. Funky Dung, Riz. Riz is here for the wrestling show, I know. Like Wheels, Falcon that was in there earlier. I mean, this is the interactivity. And You're seeing that with I have to go dancing on the stars so I can vote for Heinz Ward.
Right. That's the reason why shows like that are appointment TV. There's interaction, and if you watch it the next day, it's not going to be the same.
Now, somebody else that's trying to get ahead of the curve here. Do we talk about? Oh, wait, I'm swapping up my things. Okay, $30 premium video on demand titles. Have you heard about this, guys?
No.
That little window. The littlest of window that's still left between a movie and theater where you're dropping $10 a movie per person and the $5.99 or $4.99 rental. Yeah, that's going to be $30 a pop. And it looks like DirecTV.
Wait. So you mean the movies that my roommates rent on Comcast on demand that greatly upsets me is going to jump to $30?
If they want to watch it 2 weeks earlier, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just getting a hint because they never tell me when they order this stuff, so I always get surprised when I open my bill.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
So if that happens and I see a $30 charge...
I see why the push for Netflix was happening in your household here. But yeah, it's... I don't know.
It's similar to that. I mean, the only control that any of these providers has anymore is over, time and distribution at this point. And so they're figuring, they're calculating $30 must mean what? I mean, to go to the movies these days, it's $10 a person. So I guess they're figuring it's, 2 or more people watching a movie in the convenience of their home and don't have to pay for popcorn.
Yeah.
And they calculated $30 is the price. But it does feel outrageously high, doesn't it?
By itself, I'm not going to... It's like a lot of money to burn. It's like, okay, throw out a movie that's come out lately. What's come out lately? What's that alien movie? Paul comes out.
Oh, yep.
Okay. I didn't get to catch it in the theater because I don't get out of the house much. And, oh man, when's that coming out? Oh, I got the other 30 days on Netflix. It's out now. I'm not just hitting the remote and dropping $30 on that movie.
Right.
For a rental.
Well,
like that.
The thing is, if they would let me watch it at home the night that it is or at the movie theater,
yes,
I would definitely pay. I would pay $30 to watch a movie by myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm a sad person. because I don't like crowds. I don't like the way people chatter and listen to their cell phones and things.
Going on a Friday night and the kids jumping from chair to chair and texting, googling, and I hate going to Carmack Cinema. Yeah, so
let it all out. Let it all.
Even then, you can. All right, and this is probably a bad example, but for the convenience, $30 is worth it for some. Or you can go to the drive-in and watch it for $6.
Yeah,
and not get one, but 2.
Or I'm kind of patient, and I realize the movie's going to come out in about 3 months on DVD. Maybe I'll have a 30-day wait on Netflix, and whatever. Or I wait long enough, finally get Toy Story 3, and 2 weeks later they put it on streaming. What the hell?
Right.
Wait, it's on streaming?
It just started on streaming this week.
I'm watching it tonight.
And I want to watch it again.
Well,
Love that movie.
Yeah, I've already seen it, but I'll go home now and I'll put it on Netflix.
There you go. Chachi's book tonight.
Because for $9, I can watch as much as I want.
I love this.
Whenever I want.
But so here's the other piece of this, though, is that you guys both, Pittsburgh, not a huge city, but it is a city. Up here in Butler, we've got, one big theater, one theater that does movies that are, past their prime, if you will. And then we are lucky enough to have a drive-in, a really awesome drive-in. But nice. So Paul, I was not completely sure Paul was going to come to town. The King's Speech, I'm not sure it came through the first time around, but it came through after it won an Academy Award. So it's people in tiny little towns like me who either we drive down to Pittsburgh and still spend the money for everyone to go to the movie and maybe have popcorn and soda, or we don't and we wait 5 months for it to come out on DVD.
Yeah. So there's a lot can be said for patience.
No, I have no patience. Don't make me wait 5 months to watch aliens on, making comedy. I need it now.
Yeah. And that's where they're hoping to get you. So
it is. I think that they're counting on people like me or people who are less technical than me who won't try and find it, or God forbid I ever tried to, download something illegally. Never going to happen, I'm sure. But, some people haven't got those computer skills and aren't, don't even know you could.
Yeah, some people only know, like the Chachi situation, they only know pushing that button on the on demand and
for the record,
yes,
we had a half-hour training session on how to use Netflix on the Wii. I sat them down for 30 minutes and I answered every question they could throw at me and showed them how to get there from start to finish several times.
What does that say about Netflix? Have they no user testing at all? Literally, I don't think they do because it really is a crappy interface.
The Wii is the best interface.
No,
for
the Wii is terrible.
I know, but my goodness.
Well,
seriously, isn't it sad? I don't know. I feel like they either tried to rush that out or they just were like, you know what? We don't really want to do the Wii. We want to charge people.
It's version 2.0. They've had the year and a half to update it because they originally released it as a disc.
Right.
And then they now it's a downloadable app on, channel on the Wii and everything. So I don't know. It's but still it's not the point and click. I know my wife.
Well, it's wonderful if you watch streaming stuff on your computer.
Oh yeah. But it's not that thing where I can just hand my wife the remote and she puts on a string of shows or movies or whatever she wants to just put on the TV. It's on. I mean,
Right.
they're still battling that kind of thing. But it's like, no, pick better content for yourself. Don't just take the drivel that they put on one after another just because there's an NCIS marathon going on.
I've never seen that show.
You've never seen that show?
That's impossible. It is
that-
not
yeah,
possible.
Oh yeah.
To live
If
in
you have
America
USA on
and
your
never
cable,
see-
it's somewhere.
It doesn't matter.
Right
It
now.
doesn't mean I have
Yeah.
to watch it.
5 minutes before Raw, you're not missing it.
I really don't believe it's possible to be a human in America and not see NCIS.
It's the best rated show on television today for some reason.
It can't be.
It's apparently because you haven't watched it.
Right.
There's the Nielsen ratings, and then there's the Chachi ratings
Right.
of television.
If I have not sat down to watch a new episode of that
Mhm.
at the scheduled time, it's not the best rated show on television.
No, it's not complete.
Oh, let's send them an email and let them know.
Let them know.
Yeah, so I can have the NCIS people knock on my door. It'd be
They're
like
cute. Actually, the girls are very cute. The guys are cute.
It'd be like Clockwork Orange. The NCIS people would show up at my door, tackle me,
Pin your eyes open.
yeah, strap me down to a chair and
I'm
pin my
sorry,
eyes
the
open and
first-
just start a marathon.
I can't. That's not what I think of with Clockwork Orange. What more struck me was the penis statue killing somebody. But that's
Wow.
that's where I'm at.
This is a clean show.
I know. I can see it. It's a
Phallic.
phallic
There you go.
object.
Yes.
All right. It finally made it in the show after being in the show notes for so long. Now you know what we've been laughing about all these weeks.
Wow.
There are also, I was talking about cartoons earlier. There's a
Mhm.
Dilbert cartoon that where I guess it's Dilbert talking to his boss saying, so in other words, you're saying our business model is to take advantage of people who are too shy to complain. That, I
Wow.
believe-
Actually, that's kind of, I've actually heard a business model that was centered around that.
No way.
Yes. I'll share with you some other time. But part of it, yes, it was kind of like, yeah, well, we'll just keep sending if they don't say anything. Our customers suffer in silence, I've been told. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else we want to hit on here? Do we really want to get into GameStop? We got so
Nope.
angry about them last week.
Pass.
Pass. Okay. Just stay away from it on the internet, in the stores. Just stay
If
away.
you see a sign that says GameStop, turn around, run the other way.
It ain't no Funko Land no more.
GameStop will devour your soul. All there is to it.
Wow. Well, let's touch on real. No. We're just nexting stuff.
Yeah.
Like XXX.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I like that. It's interesting to watch the telepathy that goes between you guys that you can.
you know what?
absorb.
Sorg and I have known each other for over a
It
decade.
is almost a telepathy. Yes.
It's been like 12 years since we first met. So at this point, it's pretty much telepathy.
It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Fantastic. Well, on that note,
What?
I don't know. I really want to talk about the
Obama has an iPad.
Obama has an iPad. That's from like 3 weeks ago.
So it's in the notes.
There's this service.
There.
I have to talk about this because I get a kick out of this
We
so
covered
bad.
politics and technology with that one statement. We're good.
Yeah, I brought that up, and then all of a sudden it turned into something about the war in Libya. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Way to lunch one day.
Well, that's because he's firing missiles from his iPad. You didn't know that?
Wouldn't that be awesome? There's a
Now, see, I feel like the people of the Wii can learn from that. If you can fire missiles from an iPad, you should be able to order a movie from a Wii without excessive training. It's got to be possible.
Well, let's call Obama and find out if he's able to operate Netflix
Hey,
on a
he's
Wii.
on the iPad. Maybe
Right.
we can Skype him.
Right.
Hey, Obama,
Mm.
what is'll?
Wow.
There is a service
Wow.
out called Zadiva.
Where are you?
Zadiva. This is on the Delicious. I keep forgetting to put this one in. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Basically, instead of renting, they're renting new movies. You know, they have Hereafter here on this article I have pulled up here. Basically, their business model is instead of you renting or buying a movie, streaming, or something like that, you are actually renting access to a DVD player and the DVD playing, streaming over the internet.
Wait.
So they've got like a huge, it's almost like a matrix, but it's not people attached to tubes. It's DVD players attached to...
It's a server farm of DVD players.
Sweet.
I'm thinking they bought all those $25 ones from Walmart, stacked them up, hooked them all up to capture cards, and now you can watch.
Is there some poor soul who goes around like changing the DVDs?
No, I'm thinking you assign a DVD player. This one's Hereafter. This one's.
That is a funny idea.
Because, I mean, everyone doesn't want to watch Hereafter. Like, that's like the old school. Like, you always turn on, HBO, and it's always the same point in, I don't know what movie, You've Got Mail, And that's what would happen with this DVD farm, is that you turn on, it's like, oh my God, that guy is watching Hereafter again. And I've turned it on again right at this point. 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
I have to say, not a bad job, walking around changing the discs.
Well, he might not have it for a while. Hey, they have Black Swan, which just came out on DVD, right? Tangled, $1. Wait. New movies before Netflix and Redbox, free 14-day re-rental.
Is it less than $30?
$1.
I'm on it.
Compatible devices.
That answers the problem.
Compatible devices: Google TV, Android, Windows, and Apple. I don't know why they're all on a smartphone. It's Zediva.com, Zediva.com. Don't try to sign up because they're being sued by the MPAA.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
There's a very unhappy monkey who says, "We're sorry, registration's temporarily closed."
No,
it was
honestly,
a neat idea. If they could just like partner with somebody that does, I don't know, some kind of rerouting and filtering and so on, it could totally work. Could happen.
All right, here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
So there's this just giant wall of DVD players,
which is gonna be awesome. I just want to see the wall.
And one of those library ladders.
I was thinking the same thing.
With wheels. All right, and like for every 2 rows, that's 1 movie. So you have 2 rows of DVD players with little lights on top of them, and the slidey ladder. Anytime a light goes off, this guy or girl has to hop on the ladder, get to that DVD player,
turn it on?
Yeah, and restart the movie because someone wants to watch it.
There's actually a button on here, like okay.
Do they also have to do rewind?
Well, it's a DVD, so
ladder?
It's
like
a DVD.
Somebody wants to go back to oh my God, you aren't watching this scene over again. Kind of
that's true.
To a certain part, you go into under how it works. There's actually like you have your 14 days to rewatch it, but at any point you can hit a button to return the DVD.
But you didn't get a DVD.
I know. No, I bought the space in this DVD player across the country.
Actually could, if you could like rent a DVD player that had like 5 DVDs in it, you could rent 5 DVDs at once and like watch.
That's the premiere package.
Now
right
we're
there.
getting into multi-disc changing. That is just dirty.
Well, they do have buy a bundle of 10 for $10, so I wonder if that's what's going on.
No,
that's totally it.
That could completely
that gives you your own dedicated row of DVD players.
Like then is it to the point like okay, I'm gonna rent this now, but now I have to wait for the guy to roll on his library ladder and put the DVD.
You know what? What if it was like an attractive person and you got to like see also as they rolled?
See, this I would pay for. That alone I would pay for.
That would be like the director's cut.
Zediva at work.
Yeah.
It is Zediva, so maybe it's something to that.
Right.
Now,
you know what? If this was a British company, they totally would have like.
Oh yeah, probably topless.
Right.
Related to this, there was a story a few months ago, maybe a little longer, where there was somebody doing a service like this, where they were, I think it may have been subscription based. It was another weird name like Zediva too, but they were basically rebroadcasting television channels, not like Justin TV channel, surf the channel, and that kind of stuff, but like legitimately, I think they were trying to do a subscription service on that, rebroadcasting all the local like LA based, stations on the internet, and they got shut down too. But they said that they fell under a provision about rebroadcasting rights, kind of the same rights that allow you to rebroadcast your local NBC affiliate on your cable system. So.
But still, some money has to go to somebody somewhere.
Yeah. Somebody, especially since all those affiliates did go to the cable company and say, "Hey, we want money for you to be doing this." Which then it was funny because then all the affiliates, like Fox especially, went to their affiliates and said, "No, now we need a part of that money because it's our programming, not yours, that people really want." The whole affiliate system with TV is really messed up too.
These things were created how many years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Way before. KDKA is how old? As a radio station. Yeah. These things have been around a long time, and technology is a whole world different. So it's just, the people systems haven't caught up to the technology that's available.
Dr. Scooter, AJ is in the chat room. He says if you re-rent, you have to hit the next chapter over and over to get back to where you were.
Oh, no!
Wow.
Oh, no. If I'm paying, someone has to be on a library ladder and scoop their happy rear end.
No. You hit stop and play. That's insane.
Can you pay extra to have the person roll over there and reset it? Because I would pay 5 cents.
Wow. Yeah, they're saying, I just want to see this. That's the pro version, says Riz. That's tremendous. I mean, just the concept. I mean, it's sad it's not going to be around that long.
Yeah, I'm kind of hyped up.
I have to admire their spunk in creating a databank full of DVD players.
It's like, hey, we kind of think this is legal. Let's see what you can do with it. And I just want to see what happens. Just like testing those limits of exactly what is legal, illegal,
Maybe they just had a bunch of DVD players and they're like, what can we do? I don't know.
We started with 10.
We can't just throw them out.
Start with 10. Oh, we just rented a bunch of movies. Okay, that buys us another DVD player.
They've got a red box outside. They're actually running out and getting them out of the red box.
It's like in the back of a giant eagle and right out to the red box.
I figured it out. I have this all figured out.
Okay.
And much to my own disappointment, and Cynthia's, there's not a library ladder.
Oh.
It's actually it's a shift. A guy is sitting in a recliner with the biggest universal remote available.
This big, holding this giant remote thing going on. It's
and he receives a page, and he hits the conjunction button and moves on.
Jeez.
There's a beauty in it.
Of course there has to be a pager involved in this.
Well, I mean... How else is he? Or it could be like one of those stock tickers, where it's a rolling LED.
After Black Swan, Tangled.
No, it'll
Green Hornet.
It'll give the DVD player number, and it'll say now playing or requesting.
I can't believe we got so much legs off of that one story.
Well, I mean, think of
great.
the possibilities.
Because we start visualizing it, and then that's where it goes.
AJ in the chat room.
I like the idea, though, and this is again, Dr. Scoot, that, that person's finally done watching that one. We can watch it now. They've only got 1 copy of You've Got Mail, but they've got 5 copies of, Lord of the Rings.
It's like a normal video store. But AJ said that the guy gets paged at a bed. And he says, honey, I gotta go. Someone is done with You've Got Mail.
But actually, it's not the wide catalog. It's all just new movies.
Oh.
And they cycle them out. Cycle them out, get new movies.
No, that's not
Somebody's
fun.
running to the red box, getting the new run of
really
movies.
Feel like there is a red box somewhere in the supply chain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There has to be.
Oh, crap. We need another copy of Cop Out. Can you run down to the Giant Eagle and get one out of the red box?
That one's out. We got to go down to the sheets, man.
Oh.
Wow. On that note, thank you for joining us. It has been a blast tonight.
Well, how much fun has this been? Thank you so much for having me. I feel very, very awesome right now.
We start with earthquakes and we go to the DVD players and library ladders. It's fantastic. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. What's your Twitter for people?
I'm Cynthia Klosky on Twitter and I think other places as well. If you Google Cynthia Klosky, I'm probably going to be the person you find.
You are the alpha Cynthia Klosky on the internet.
I hate to break up this outro,
Oh, jeez.
but AJ said there's one guy who stands outside of Walmart at midnight on Tuesday and gets all the new DVDs that come out.
Oh, jeez.
And he's got somebody running interference for him in case somebody's sneaking up while he's putting in the money.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, I think we left off. You are the alpha with Cynthia Klosky on
I'm
Google.
the only one that I know of, so if you find another one, please let me know if you can find me. But my company is bigbigdesign.com.
Excellent. Chachi, are your bonus levels up yet?
No.
No?
Starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow. Now explain this bonus levels. Of course, you've been doing your blog.
Yeah, I've been on ChachiSays.net. I've been doing the journey to 1001.
Book's right there.
Yeah, it's Cynthia's about to see my view go for a ride, but
Woo!
There's a webcam on there. Don't mind.
1001 video games featuring QCat. Essentially, it's 1001 video games you must play before you die, and I'm going through and I'm playing all 1001 and blogging about each one. Going through this book, however, I've noticed that there are games that shouldn't be in the book that are, and obviously games that I feel should be in the book that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they be fantastic games, or ones that I just immensely enjoy playing and I feel like I should share. Because of this, my journey is actually going to get a lot longer. It's not going to be 1001, it's going to be 1001 plus. Starting tomorrow, and the header's already up on the blog. Okay. You can go and see what I mean. But starting tomorrow, I'm going to do a secret level where every so often I'm going to hide a link in one of the posts. And that link is going to take you to a game that I feel is fun to play or should be in the book. Tomorrow's link, I'm going to blatantly point out so
just get people started.
Yeah,
on
so
it.
people can grasp the concept.
A hidden link, like this one here.
Yeah. And it's not really going to be a hidden link. It's just going to be a random word hyperlinked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, randomly throughout a 2-letter word, a 3-letter word, just a commonly used word.
Just do like a piece of punctuation sometimes, just to make it harder for us.
Yeah, see? There you go. But, yeah, starting tomorrow, the first, I'm going to do my normal game, my normal game post, which is Minesweeper.
Awesome. Awesome.
No, it's not awesome.
I know. I'm like, oh, sweet, you did Minesweeper. And you're like, no, it's not cool at all.
No, it's a waste of space. That game could have gone to something better. But I have to play it and blog about it, because I said I was going to do this. Tomorrow's game is Minesweeper, but also the first secret level will be up. So look for that.
There you go. Props on the MDK. I would have given it a 4, but I have a personal
of course you would have given it a 4.
I would have given it a 4.
I'm a lot rougher than you are.
Yeah, but you also didn't play it back in like 1996 when it was awesome. Wow. Yeah.
It doesn't matter when I played.
It was.
The game gets a 3.
I give you.
The game leaves a little something to be desired.
I can add nostalgia points myself.
No, you can't. That's my scale. It says Chachi's scale of awesome.
It is Chachi's scale of awesome. Man, that looks good, doesn't it?
It does. Thanks.
Yeah. And of course, I'm over at Sorgatron.com. I've been doing bloggy things. And SorgatronMedia.com, where we find all these fine podcasts, including Chachi Says, who has a new feature this week. But you'll find out about that there. Yeah. That's the vidcast, not the .net. Right. But they're all in the same place. Yeah. Also, check out my new addiction to Tumblogs, smurfart.tumblr.com, and which I know looks like Smurf Arts, and qcat.tumblr.com, thanks to inspired by our conversation last week. And, he'll be hanging around more. So go check those out and let me know what you think of them. Follow them, stuff. This is I've just been introduced to Tumblogs, and it's amazing to me. I never saw the purpose until now, and just insanity. Oh, shout out to Where's Randy?
Get over it too.
I will probably get over it. Yeah. Well, I still find I'm still Where's Randy Savage.tumblr.com is amazing to me and continually makes me funny. Makes me funny.
Makes you funny?
Makes funny happen. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to you for joining us. Chachi on the boards. We're going to find out where in the world Rob is for next week. Chill is scheduled to join us with his Toys of Awesome. And thanks, guys. You've been our awesome chat. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. We'll see you guys next week.